So today I am doing flowers, plumerias, for a wedding cake that I have this weekend. This is a really simple, quick flower to make. Plumerias can be done in whatever color you want. These in particular have to be done in lavender because that is one of the colors of the wedding. So I'm going to do the lavender flower, and then I'm going to do yellow on the inside to make it look more real, more realistic. So what I need, these are already done, and I need to make more, and I thought, while I'm in the middle of it, might as well do a little tutorial on what I'm doing. So what I need is my lavender gum paste. I colored it with a mixture of, what was it? Well, basically purple and pink to get lavender. And I got my ribbon today that's supposed to be lavender also, hoping that I'd get them close, and lo and behold, they're almost identical. So one of the things with purple food coloring, gel color, anyways, I'm not sure about the liquid, but I would assume it would be the same, with the gel colors is purple and blue like to fade. They fade a lot. Pink does too. So I like to go a little darker to begin with to allow for them to fade. The stinky part about it is that you don't know until they're already made and you're already done if it's going to fade to the color that you need. I guess that's where petal dust comes into play, or airbrushing if your color is not the intensity that you need unpredictably. And I think that also depends on the barometric pressure. Honestly, the weather around us plays a huge role in how cake turns out and all of the things that go with cake. So, anyways, I have my gum paste that I'm working it to be soft right now. Gum paste, my cornstarch pounce that I had in my last tutorial, just a nylon stocking filled with corn flour to keep your surfaces not sticky. Then, whoops, get in there. I have my shortening to help me work with the gum paste because it likes to get sticky on your hands, and you use this to keep it from sticking to your hands. My edible, my gum glue, which I make, Tylose and water, your rolling pin, softening ball tool. I have two different ones because I have two different ways that I'm doing, I need two different ones for this purpose. And then, what you call these? These are veining tools to help me. Actually, I'm not going to use this one, but this one to help get the rounded part of the petal. So, anywho, that's what I need. And I'm going to start with, I'm going to get these out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, and my petal. This is actually a rose petal cutter, but they can be used in so many different ways because honestly, flowers are all pretty much the same shape-ish, variations of the same type shapes, used in different ways. So I need that too. Now, I'm only going to need 5 petals, so I don't need that much at a time. And I already softened it up, so don't have to worry about that. I'm going to pounce the surface just a little bit. You don't want a whole lot because you don't want to dry it out, but you need it to be workable. And hopefully you can see what I'm doing because the window is over there, which looks like it's causing shadows over here. I like my sound effects. I am a dork. If you know me, you know that. Oh, by the way, I should say, hi, my name's Mary, and I have business called Sophisticakes by Mary in Davenport, Iowa. I do wedding cakes in particular this time of the year, but I also do, any occasion cakes. I guess wedding cakes is kind of my specialty. And it is starting to be wedding season. So I need 5 of these per flower. One more. And now if I'm just pumping them out, I will make 10 to 15 petals at a time and assemble them kind of get it done fast. Now I need my, this is just a foam mat that I got at, what was it, Hobby Lobby? Or, no, yeah, Hobby Lobby. And it's the foam for cushioning chairs and things like that. And it works great for softening your petals. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can show you how to do this and still see it. What I do is I use a smaller end, and I start from one end, and I go down to the other of each one of these. Kind of gives them a little bit of a rounded feel to the petals. Now, I've seen videos and other people do plumerias different, and that's fine. You do what works for you, and this is what works for me. So that, then I use my other softening tool. It's slightly larger because I don't really want these edges ruffled. I just want them softened a little bit, thinned out, just a tad. So then I'll just half on the gum paste, half off. Don't want to ruffle it, just want to soften it. Do that to each one of the petals. And if it wants to ruffle up on you a little bit, that's okay. You can work it out later. I must have something on here that's creating little lines. A little bit of dried gum paste, but you know what? We'll say it's giving it texture. Nobody's going to notice that. Just on one half of these petals is all you're doing this on. Up to the top, down to the tip. Gentle pressure, firm but gentle. And I'll take my smaller veining tool. And what I'm wanting to do is create a little bit of a, boy, that's going to be hard to see, a curl on this side, the side that you softened. So I just push it up over the top of that, down to the corner. Can you see that? Maybe that's better. Corner, on up to it is that about, oh, I don't know, 3/4 of the way up. There you go. And do that to each one of them. I let the foam here work for me. It kind of holds it in place while I'm working with it, but it also gives it a little bit of cushion so I can get my fingers up under there to curl it. I don't know if you can see that because of the, I don't know how to do that in a better angle. So the other side this time. Just tuck it up over. Do it on the same side of each petal. You can even over curl it a little bit because they always loosen up as you're working with them. And you can do this in your hand. You know, you can curl it. You can use your fingers that way. I do that sometimes too. But today, I'd rather use this. Okay, so now you have 5 leaves that are all ready to be assembled. I like to let them sit for a couple minutes and set up just a little bit before I work with them. So what I'm going to do is go get my petal dust so that I can show you how I fill in the center of the already dried ones. So I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Now, you don't want to let these sit too long because you don't want them to get so dried out that they crack when you try to assemble them. I'm going to grab one of my, I made these rings just out of foil, roll them up. I'm making my own flower formers because I find that the ones that I have too much of a well for this type of a flower. I want them to come more down to a point, not in a half circle at the bottom. So I'm making these and then setting them just on a cookie rack. Use what you got. So pick up one flower. This is kind of hard. We'll see. Ah, shoot. I just used the wrong brush. Dry, 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 dry. We'll make it work. Little of my gum glue right on this other edge, the opposite from where you have your curl. line up your next petal so that the tips come together, because you want this ridge all the way down to the base. You don't want it to get flat on the inside. You'll see what I'm saying when I get it done. Then I like to just put a little pressure. Make sure they stay connected. I am gluing my hand. This type of a flower, honestly, is not the easiest to assemble. Okay. All 5 of the petals lined up one after the other. Trying to keep your points together. Got a rogue petal. Rogue petal. Redefine those edges if you need to. It's okay. Things move. Here's my 5th one. I like to go back and make sure each petal is not going to move too much when you do the next step, the tricky step. I'm trying to see what I'm doing and show you at the same time. Kind of hard. Okay, so now, see, this one needs a little bit of glue down in here so it stops wiggling on me. Okay. Go ahead and get that one too. This is the hard part. I don't know how I'm going to show you this. I need to curl this end up and over, like in a cone shape, to attach to the other side. So I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. Curl it over to meet that one. I did it. So you can see the middle of it. Pinch the bottom together while not squishing your petals. Oh, it's working! Look at that! You can kind of see the ridges, or whatever you want to call those, where the petal is curled in. You want to keep that. Then I slip it into one of these, my homemade flower former. Get my rack. How the heck am I going to do this? Okay. I will move this after I'm done. Move that one over. Set it in there. This would be a good time to redefine any curls that are wanting to get lazy. I'm going to stand up. See if I can show you. I'm just going to go like that. Trying to. It's actually pretty good. Okay. Put it back down. And then just spread the petals out. Wow, I've got some wild nails this week. I can imagine that laugh is probably kind of spooky on this video. Just convince them to open up. You can actually go in and curl around your, if you want to. Actually, I don't really want to too much. Because it's starting to firm up, but it's still pliable right now. I wouldn't want to force it too much all at once, because you could get cracks in it, and that's not good. Okay, so that one is looking pretty good. Like I always say, that nothing is perfect in nature, so actually, like my husband says, nothing's perfect in nature. And he's right. Just play with these till you get them where you want them. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so there, you just let it sit there, let it dry, but in the meantime, let's find a pretty one that I can finish off. How about this one? This one's kind of pretty. That one turned out pretty good. Actually, that one did too. But anyway, I take my yellow petal dust, put some in a little container. It's a little easier. And then hopefully my brush is not too wet, because I don't want it to show streaks of color. I want it to be soft. So, feels okay. Is this the one I'm doing? I think this is the one I'm doing. Let's see if I can show you here. Just put some yellow in the centers. It's a little much because the brush is a little wet, but that's okay. We'll make it work. I hope my bride Veronica doesn't mind me showing this. I'm sure she doesn't. We have been talking for a little while since the expo, January, and it's finally happening, Veronica. I don't really want a whole lot of yellow because it's not really, as far as I know, a color in their wedding. It's just in nature, they tend to have yellow centers. Okay, so very soft yellow. Hopefully you can see that with no shadow. I, like always, will go ahead and finish up what I'm doing. And I will, I actually will steam these flowers also. I steam them so that it gets any of the extra cornstarch off of them and kind of shines up the surface a little bit. Kind of finishes them up. And then I will show a picture of the cake that they are on after I deliver it this weekend. If you haven't already, please take a minute to like my Facebook page, Sophisticakes by Mary in Davenport, Iowa. And please take a moment to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need some subscribers. I don't want to do this for no reason. I want people to watch. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see what we do next time. Thanks.